My name is Tristan Lowe and I'm going to be explaining how to use the Avizo Metrology Workroom to analyse calibration spheres used in X-ray computed tomography. There are lots of different calibration spheres available, ranging from single spheres to multiple spheres with different sizes. However, the techniques which we're going to cover can be applied to all of them. The example which we will be using is a two-sphere calibration target. The data can be loaded in either using a TIFF stack or a raw volume. When loading the data in, we should be using the effective pixel size from the CT scan itself. In this example, it is 16 microns, and this can be found in the properties box. Next, we need to check the quality of the CT scan itself. This is most easily done using the ortho slice. Here we can see that the spheres themselves have a good contrast compared to the background and the support structure. If we scroll through the slices, we can make sure that the CT volume contains all the spheres that we need to analyse the target. We should also make sure that there are no reconstruction artifacts that could cause problems during the analysis. In this example, we have no ring artifacts, but we do have a little bit of streaking at the top of the spheres. But this should not be a problem in this case. We can also check that the spheres are fully contained within the volume by using the volume rendering. Again, we can see that there are no real artifacts on the target, although there is a little bit from the streaking which we saw previously in the ortho slice here. But this should not be a problem for this particular analysis. To analyse the spheres, we do not need to segment the data. We only need to make sure that it's loaded into the project view. Next, we move to the Metrology Workroom located at the top of the screen. The Metrology Workroom is in the familiar format with the control tools on the left-hand side and the viewing windows on the right-hand side. To start the analysis, we need to choose the data. We'll be given a drop-down menu. Here we can choose the raw data, which is for the calibration target. If you have any data labels, those would also be shown. The data is now loaded in, and we need to choose a method for extracting the surface profile of the spheres in the target. In this example, I'm going to be using the adaptive subvoxel. This will take a few minutes to prepare. When the surface fitting is finished, I need to check the results. To do this, I'm going to go to the ortho slices to check how the surface has been profiled. Here we can see we have a good profile of the surface of the sphere. We can now move on to the next step. I will now move to the 3D viewing window. Here I will be selecting one of the spheres. I want to avoid the area where we can see the CT artifact. So I move the object around so I can have a clean surface to do the profiling. Next, I click on the Geometries window and select the Sphere Fitting tab. A profile for Sphere 1 will be created. I can now click a number of times on the surface to create a sphere fitting around the object. Try to make sure that the points are spread uniformly around the surface. If we're happy with this sphere fitting, we can click on Finish. We can see the properties of this sphere at the bottom of the Geometries window. Here we can see that the radius is 1.4 millimeters. Next, I will zoom out of the calibration target and move to Sphere 2 and repeat the process. Once the sphere surfaces have been generated, we need to measure the distance between the sphere centres themselves. This can be done by using the measures in the Metrology Workroom. Right-click on the Metrology tab and move down to Measures. A new window will now appear. We need to select what type of measure we're going to perform. I choose the measure, then dimensional measures, distances, and I'm going to choose the centres for the centre from sphere 1 to sphere 2. This will allow me to measure the distance between two sphere centres. If I have more than two spheres, I can choose which sphere distances I want to measure. Once I click on Create, this will now generate the distance measure. The distance between these two spheres is shown here as 29.671 millimeters. The measures are also shown in the viewing windows. These can be recorded as still images. If I wish to change the annotation, I can change the line width and the cone size. I can also change the colours if I so wish. If I'm happy with these measures, I can then click on Finish. These results are now saved. If I have more than two spheres and I want to measure the distances between the other spheres, I just need to select the same process again. Measure criterion, choose measures, and then choose centers. To export the data, I can go to the top right-hand tab and export the measures to a spreadsheet. This is shown on the right-hand side. This spreadsheet will now appear in the project view. Returning to the project view, we can see that we have an additional dataset called measures. This is a spreadsheet containing all the information for the distances between the spheres which we have measured. Clicking on the Show tab will show this on the right-hand side. The distance between the two spheres is shown under Value. In this case, it's 29.67 millimeters. This value can then be used to recalculate the correct voxel size. This can then be inputted into other X-ray CT datasets so that we can have more accurate measures.